And child, now listen, you couldn't tell me I wasn't stellar. You couldn't tell me I was not stellar. I didn't start out that way, but my story it literally almost seems just like the movie How Stella Got Her Groove Back. My friend and I went on vacation. We went on my birthday. I met a Jamaican the actual night, the same night of my birthday, which would have been the next night, the night of my birthday. We exchanged numbers. We hung out for the rest of the time. You know, a couple of times the rest of the time I was there on vacation. We exchanged numbers, kept in touch. After I got back home, I mean, it was almost like the movie, but there was a bit of a change. Okay, this wasn't exactly, but almost. In the beginning, it was just like it, but there was a change. Come along with me while I tell y'all my business, okay? This series is called How Tara Did Not Get Her Groove Back. Come on. Alright, so last and final narcissistic series, and we're done. Okay, it has a great ending though, because but not to him. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. What had happened was, all right, so this was the year of my 40th birthday. This was 6 years ago already. Wow, that was crazy. Time flies. Yes, this was May of 2019. I shared this. If you haven't already subscribed, okay, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm so sorry. My name is Tara Walker. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping by for story time. If you are a returning subscriber and or a returning visitor, hey y'all, hey. So if you are a returning subscriber and or returning visitor, you should by now be keeping up with me, okay? And if you're not, you need to go back and watch. But I think I revealed this on the last, well, the not the last, but the one before that one, about how my birthdays would go. How it just, I'm sorry y'all, this first of all, my bad for the wrinkles, and then it just seemed like it's all stretched out or whatever. Just listen, let me focus. Okay, so yeah, I had revealed how on my birthday it just seemed like, you know, I love birthdays. I always celebrate when I have friends, you know what I'm saying, their birthdays and everything, do whatever I gotta do to celebrate their birthdays, even if it's going out of the country. I have done this, literally. I've gone out of the country with people. I have gone out of the I'm sorry, not out of the country, not for a birthday, but out of town for people and stuff like that for their birthday. But when it would come to my birthday, everybody would get ghosts like Casper. It would be like, no, it's like clockwork. And it wasn't the same set of friends. It was always whatever group of friends I was with at that time, for I don't know why it would happen like that, but it just seemed like everybody would just become amnesia, and nobody would be planning nothing or getting together or even remember that it was my birthday, so to speak. And so I had planned, because because that was that year, because of the prior year that happened. I said it on that video, how upset and angry I was. I actually prophesied to myself, and I said, next year for my 40th birthday, I will not be waiting on anybody. I don't care if I gotta go alone. I'm gone. And I was dead serious. And that is actually what happened. I had made the plans to go to Jamaica. I knew I wanted to go to Jamaica. And what happened was, I sat in my hairstylist chair at the time, and I was telling her that I was getting ready to literally book these tickets I had found. I think I did find on to Jamaica. And she was like, what? And you going alone? I said, and is. And she was like, you can't go by yourself. And who can't? Indeed I am. And she was like, no, I'm gonna go with you. I was like, no, you're not. She said, and I am. She said, I'm not letting you go out of the country by yourself or whatever. Listen, I am a very, very very independent person. My mother has raised me to be thus. My coworker has said she's gone out of town by herself before. I've seen people do it. I do not need an entourage, right? I was very well prepared to do this thing by myself, but she insisted to go, and I was like, okay, come on. So she happened to have her laptop there, and so I sat it on my lap, and then we scrolled and looked through, and then she gave me a particular because she had a boyfriend at the time who was Jamaican, and so she had been a few times, and she knew of the resort that she liked that she said we should pick. So it was actually a good deal that she said she wanted to come, because I ain't had to search for the resorts and stuff like that. Pulled it up, and they happened to have it pulled up whatever's vacation, I don't know what you know, the websites where you get your specials and stuff, and they happen to have a special round trip for 700 something, I think it was, for, I think we did 5 days. We did 5 days, because we came back on like a Sunday we left on a Wednesday, and I think we came back on like a Sunday or Monday. And she was like, yeah, pick that one. And she had the money already. I ain't had to wait on her or whatever. We booked the trip right there, literally in my lap while she was doing my hair. And I was like, all right, man, let's go. So we went. And we went the day before, so that I could already be there on my birthday. That's what I wanted to do anyway. I didn't want to be like traveling on my birthday and stuff like that. And so the night of my birthday, we went out, and not went out, but went to the, you know, the resort's festivities. And had a ball, you know what I'm saying? Had a couple of cocktails, and yes, I was in the world back then. And they had a dance contest, and yours truly, of course, why wouldn't I, won the dance contest. So unbeknownst to me, there was somebody watching me, but I didn't know that they were watching me until later on after the dance contest, and we all just, you know, there's tables and people just sitting around enjoying the music and enjoying the dancing and stuff like that, watching different people dance and stuff like that. And I look up, and there's this young dude staring down at me, and he's giving me like this little smile. You know, like I said in the last video, we women, we know when somebody is flirting or whatever. He's just kind of giving me like this little look. And so I looked at him, you know, but I didn't say anything at first until it was like a couple of drinks in. And then I had this nerve, what they call a liquid encouragement. And I told my friend at the time, I said I'd be back. And I got up to go get another drink. And I had to pass him to go to the particular bar that I went to. And I noticed he was just like sitting down. And so I said, why you not? I went up to him, and I had to get close to his ear because the music is loud, right? So I didn't do it like all seductive. No, I put my cheek like really close to his cheek so he can hear me. And I said, why you sitting down? He was like, oh, I'm the audio engineer. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad, audio engineer. You know, just like playing around with him. My bad, you at work and whatever. And he kind of giggled, I giggled. And then I left to go get my drink. And then I went back to my table with my friend. And but I kept every time I would glance up, I would lock eyes with him. And I was like, yeah, okay, so he's feeling your girl. He look young as I don't know what. I was like, I don't know how he is, but he definitely look young. I had told my friend, she was like, definitely look young. And then and Shorty was more lit than I was. She ended up, Lord have mercy. She ended up, because we was both on the stage dancing together. She came up there with me when I won the dance contest and everything. And so there was these white girls or whatever, and they asked her how to twerk. And so she off in her own land. This was funny. I haven't thought about this story in a while. And she's teaching the white girls over there how to twerk. So I'm by myself. So I guess that, you know, gave him the courage to come over and say something to me. So he came over, he sat down, and you know, just small talk or whatever. asked me my name or whatever, and I told him, and I asked him, and he told me, and we're just gonna call him Sam. That's just a random name I just came up with. We're just gonna call him Sam, okay? And so Sam asked me, how I'm doing, and I told him that at the strike of midnight it will be my birthday, and so it was okay. So my bad. So it wasn't the next night. We went to the festivities that night. We did. That's right. We came in, we showered, we relaxed, we ate. That's what happened. And then we went out that evening. And then at midnight, it was my birthday. That's what happened. And so, he, I said it'll be midnight my birthday. He was like, oh, okay. And so, because a lot of people think I'm younger than my age, he asked me. He was like, well, how old you going to be? And I told him the truth. I said, I'll be 40. No. I don't think I said it right out of the way. I said, how old do you think I'll be? And he was like, I don't know. He was like 32, 31, something like that. And I giggled. He's like, why you laugh? I was like, that's pretty good. He was like, older? I was like, definitely older. And then I told him, and then he looked at me. he looked at me like I was lying. He was, and I asked him how old he was 24. And so I was like, this baby, right? And so, we kept talking and everything. And he was like, what y'all about to do? I said, well, I'm about to go back into my room and chill. I said, why? Oh, I forgot this part. One of the dancers, there was a Jamaican dancer there, and he's like what do you call the people that just, try to get the crowd pumping and stuff like that. And I can't remember what they called, but he was trying to get me to go off the resort to a club, not just me by myself, but other people. But I didn't feel comfortable because, you got to be careful, okay? And so I said, why was you going to where the dude or whatever? He was like, nah, he gone already. I was just going to take y'all to to a private club or something like that and whatever. I was like, I don't know, cause what I'm saying, I just met I just met you. I don't know you, but for some reason I felt comfortable. Not saying it was right, cause I'm in total lust and fornication, all type of sin right now, because I'm in the world. Okay, let me truth be told. But I just didn't get a vibe of I ain't comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, but I said, well, let me ask my friend, because if she would have said no, then it would have been a no. That's all that she wrote, right? So, I finally got her to stop teaching the people to twerk and come back over here. And I said, I asked her. I was like, I told her, I was like, he want to take us, to what do you call it? I don't want to say mainland. What's off the resort to, like the locals, area. And she was like, you want to? And I was like, it's up to you. And don't let me please don't feel like I'm pressuring you. She was like, yeah, let's do it. It's your birthday. And I was like, okay. So I said, well, give us a few, let us go upstairs. And because we haven't, it's hot, Jamaica is hot. I have been dancing. She been dancing. Let us go upstairs, freshen up. You know what I'm saying? Wash up a little bit, change clothes. And that's what we did. And we met him. He thought we was playing, because I guess he thought we was taking a little bit long. But we females, you gonna make sure you right, okay? You're not just going nowhere with just anything and smelling like anything. You gonna make sure you straight. So but we ended up meeting up with him, and then but they had and he should have known this, really. They had a I don't know if they still have it now, but there was something going on with their government, and they had these restrictions during that time, and places like the clubs and stuff were shutting down earlier, before midnight and stuff like that, in certain places, and this was, excuse me, I forgot to say this, we were not in where most people go, which is what's the place that start with an M? The main place with the people, when you fly in, that's where most people stay. Why I can't think of the name right now? I can't think of the city. But anyway, we weren't there. We were in the grill. And so, Lord have mercy. I'll put it right there when I edit. But we weren't in that place. We were in the grill, which is a whole hour away from there. And so stuff was like shut down. It looked like that. It looked like it was already 3:00 in the morning, and it was just a little bit after 12. And so he ended up bringing us back. And so he wanted to continue to talk and everything like that. And so my girlfriend was like, you straight? And I was like, I'm good. You straight? She was like, yeah, girl. She's go enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll see you upstairs and everything like that. And I was like, okay. And so she left. And that's it for this episode. You're going to have to come back for the follow-up. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. If you are not a subscriber, you're not one of those. If you are not a subscriber, I would encourage you to subscribe and come back. And if you can relate to anything else, if you thought you was Stella 1 year or something happened where you felt like Stella, drop me a line in the comments and let me know, because people receive when they can relate. Okay. And yeah, I love you. But know that God loves you so much more. Come back, because it's a whole lot more to tell with this one. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.